Hello, Storygoers, and welcome back to another episode of Tales from the Cartridge, the video game storytelling podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Eric.
And I'm their co-host, Ryan.
Ryan, I just did the unthinkable. Mm-hmm. Yes, some of you may think this is easy, but I don't think so. I think that you're full of it, and I think that you should think I'm pretty cool. I built my own fire pit.
Wow.
And you're probably thinking, is that just stacking bricks? Yes. However, it's in a certain pattern. Mm-hmm. You're probably thinking, oh, is it a circle? Yes, it is. However, they're heavy. They're heavy stones.
Mm-hmm. And the bricks aren't circle-shaped bricks, probably.
Well, they're like kind of circular.
Right, but you still have, you still have to like put them in. You know what I mean? Like you have to like, yeah.
I had to use these hands, these big meaty claws, to pick these up.
Yeah.
The hardest part, though, is digging the grass around the pit.
Yeah. Digging is so hard. Digging is so hard. Yeah,
so hard.
Digging holes is hard work.
You know who said it best?
Yeah, who?
Shia LaBeouf. Holes. Circa 2000 something. Dig it up. I sent that to my wife and I was digging things up.
Yeah.
If you're too young to know what I'm talking about, that sucks. That really sucks for me.
It's a bummer. We are old,
hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts me so much. Everyone should watch Holes. Good movie.
Yes, good movie.
Shia LaBeouf did not age out very well.
You're right.
We don't talk about that. I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we're still in that cycle. Because everything cycles around. He'll be back.
Absolutely. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves him again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you and I don't get that privilege, though. We only have one
shot.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We don't have enough money to have that privilege, is the thing.
I would love more money.
It's true. It'd be
Not
great.
even for the privilege. I don't want it to be bad. I don't want to do bad things to have that privilege to do it. I just want to live comfortably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ryan, how are you? And what have you been building lately? I'm playing lately.
But I haven't. I'm doing pretty good. We are on the run up to the start of school, and so it's madness.
Yes.
So I've been running around a bunch, dropping furniture off, helping put classrooms together, like talking with folks. It's all madness, and it's going to be madness for the next probably 3 weeks. But that's okay, because that's just how it works with schools. So yeah, that being said, I haven't played much. I've only played a little bit of stuff. I'm still slowly plugging my way through Death Stranding. I think I maybe played an hour last week. And most of it was yesterday. Because time.
So yeah, I haven't. Real life Death Stranding guy, you were taking furniture on your back.
I was taking furniture around,
taking someone's baby,
carrying it. Yep, I had the baby on my chest. And toddler in too. It's a toddler.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well,
sorry. I'm sorry. Don't hurt me.
Well, it's touchy subject. We'll just say it's a touchy subject. Yes.
Like in the game or in real life?
In the game.
Okay.
So I've been playing some Death
or something. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
I've been playing some Death Stranding, and that's been fun. Playing a little bit of Peak. I don't think we have played Peak since. Have we? Have we played Peak since?
I would like to, but no.
Yeah, I played yesterday evening. One of my friends who I played D&D with were like just chatting about D&D stuff, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to?" He while we were talking about D&D stuff, he was playing Peak, and he was like, "Hey, I just got to the top in 40 minutes. I was like, "What? You did what now?" And I was like, "We're doing it." And I made it to the peak. He did not, but I made it to the peak.
Good job, you made it, right?
Yeah, it was great. It got real hairy at one point. He was leading me the whole way. And at one point he was like, "Oh, I think I can go up here." And I just see him fall down. This was in the kiln. Like we made it to the volcano. And he fell down, and I had to climb back down to get this because I didn't have a backpack because I had died in a previous. And I had to get the stuff out of his backpack, and there was and I was starving, and there was like a small suitcase, and that suitcase had a chain launcher and cookies, and so I filled my belly up with cookies, and I had 3 chain launchers, and I just chain launched all the way up to the top.
It was great.
Yeah, so that was wild. And a fun time. But yeah, I haven't played much. All my game playing this week was yesterday. And yeah, that's it. But Eric, how are you? What have you been playing?
I'm good. I wanted to say really fast, and then I also, well, I'll get to it because I also played Peak recently with my wife. But I'm good. I'm doing good. Yeah, it's been very fun. I'm good. Everything's good. We're just working on the house, doing house stuff.
Doing house stuff.
I feel like I'm becoming a hermit though. I don't really leave the house anymore.
Yeah.
And when I go out, it's a little bit. It's almost like COVID again in a way for me. Not to bring up the evil word, but like, it feels a little like that. I just don't really leave home a whole lot now because why would I leave? I have a house. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just,
and
I
you
don't leave.
like live in a place that there's not as much stuff that you want to go and do directly around you. It's more of like a big ordeal, so you just do it less. At least that's what I find as well.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just doing less. Maybe sticking home more. I mean, I go to Lowe's. I don't belong in Lowe's. People look. You ever go to a place and you think people are just looking at you funny, but they're not.
Yeah,
it's you projecting. But it's like everyone's looking at you funny.
And
it's just like, I know I don't belong here. Okay, I know I put things in my hair to keep it back. I'm trying. Okay, I want to get bushes. I bought bushes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Everyone's very nice though. I'm sure they have no idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good. I've been playing. Sorry, I got a my ADHD's in full bloom today. I bought new computer arms.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Ryan, with this Allen wrench that is a screwdriver.
Those are pretty incredible. Yep.
So I've just been playing with it. It's my fidget now.
Yeah.
For what I've been playing, I'm playing a lot of Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm really trying to. The Fortnite stuff is really. Fortnite gets you, and then you just kind of keep playing it, and then you realize. I realize I'm not playing anything of like significance in a different way. I'm not playing any narrative-based things. I'm just sticking to the 5-minute games, and I gotta get out of that. So I'm back to Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm really liking it a lot. I'm in no spoilers here. I'm getting into these areas where new things that weren't shown before the game launched are coming to me, and I'm really excited to see what happens with that, with new abilities and stuff like that. So that's very fun. And my hopes is I will beat that by next weekend, and I want to get to Lies of P DLC Overture. The Sekiro anime announcement, which we'll get to in a little bit, from Gamescom got me really psyched to get back to Sekiro one day and try to beat that, because I did not. It absolutely just beat me up and laughed at me and kicked dirt in my eyes and I cried. But I want to get back to the Souls-like of it all, so I'm going to go back to Lies of P. Loved Lies of P, and I think that Overtures would be... I heard only good things about the DLC, so my hope is that we can go back and play that. And then also, I've also been playing Peak, and I finally saw the Looker, and it was scary.
Yeah, I've heard it's scary.
Though.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, if you don't want to know, don't listen. Skip a little bit ahead. But in the game right now, it's just this little orange scout who just constantly is watching you in the distance. When you see them, and the game knows that you're seeing them, they just slowly disappear behind the rock. And I got close to him, and he slowly disappeared, and he was gone. And I think I was actually playing with a client from work as we were doing a session together. Peak is a great game to do therapy through, by the way, as a play therapy game. Peak is a fantastic game. Any therapist listening, I highly recommend it. If your clients can play it, let them take the lead and then process their feelings. It's so much fun. But the look, and then the kid's like, "What was that?" I was like, "That was the Looker." I feel scared. I was trying to express I feel really scared. That was kind of creepy. But also, again, a little bit of spoilers for Peak. Have you heard about what the data miners have found in the next update?
No, I haven't. Yes, I do.
If you don't want to know, Storygoers, skip ahead a little bit. If you do, because it's going to probably be out like next week, I imagine, because you can already use it in the game if you're scrounging through the files. They're adding a grappling hook.
Whoa, that's so cool.
It's gonna be so cool.
That's amazing.
Also, Brian, did you hear about the hack for the Mesa?
No, what's the hack for Mesa?
If you take a large item like a backpack or Bing Bong and hold it in front of you, in front of the sun, the shadow casts over you and you don't get hurt.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Even
that's
small
incredible.
Items too. You can finagle it like a magic bean, but as long as you can get it in front of the sun and there's a shadow casting over you,
You're
You are
good.
safe.
That's so cool. Yeah, what I learned yesterday playing, which was what I was gonna bring next time we played, is if you have a sports drink, it removes all heat. It just like zaps all the heat away. So if like you
What?
get really really burned, you just power a sports drink and it gets all the burn away. So at the fiery levels, you can like run through the fire, then chug a sports drink and be good to go.
Wow.
I haven't tested it yet, but that's what I was told from the person that I played with yesterday, who seemingly was a pro.
Yeah, 40 minutes. That's pretty fast, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe one day we'll play with Storygoers. Maybe you and I can jump on and we'll
That
play
would be
if you're
so
not
fun.
subscribed. That'd be so fun.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah. I mean, we can betray each other, and it's great. I love the videos where people like shoot another person with a dart, and they're like, "Hey, did you just do something?" And they just like fall.
They just fall over.
Funny.
It's so good.
There's
It's
so many good clips online.
Yeah.
I'm a little sad though that we weren't popular enough, or really we didn't play the game online or stream the game online for the developers to be bing bong for us. Now they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm a little
Yeah.
bummed
That would have
about
been
that.
so cool.
Yeah. Aggro Crap, if you want to come back for us,
Yep.
we'll happily.
We're
we'll
here.
happily do it. Yeah, we're here. We'll
Yeah.
do it. Please
Yeah.
email us. Speaking of emails, you can
Wow,
always.
what a great transition.
That's pretty good, right? Send us. I keep looking at this hair that keeps popping out of here. Send us your thoughts, feelings, and perspectives to talesfromthecartridge@gmail.com. All the E's are threes. You can also find us on our social media, or comment on our Spotify question polls, or make a comment on Spotify. All that good stuff. We hope you enjoyed our last episode of. We didn't put it in the document. I know this. What was our last episode? It was a DLC. Best narrative so far.
Best narrative so far. Yes, of
Yes.
course.
Which, Ryan, I need to apologize. Because as we were making that thumbnail, I realized I included the two games I had brought to the table, and I didn't put it.
I didn't even think about that.
I meant to text you, and I totally forgot. So I'm very sorry about that.
Did not even notice.
Next time I won't be like that. Trust the guilt was getting to me. So not so much to
Okay.
reach out apparently, but I will get better about that.
Yeah.
So, if you feel in your heart of hearts to support us on Patreon, that's awesome. We would really appreciate that. If not, that's totally okay. Rate us on Apple and Spotify if you feel, we deserve 5 stars and only 5 stars. And if we don't deserve 5 stars, don't even bother. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just skip over. We're cool.
Keep on moving.
Yeah. And we actually had no engagement from the last time we recorded. So sucks, but also we have nothing to, I don't have to bring it up, I guess. So pros and cons.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think before we jump into the story, though, that Ryan, you've so graciously brought to the table here, we wanted to kind of go over quickly Gamescom, opening night live,
Yeah,
2025,
absolutely.
and our thoughts on that. What are some of the, Ryan, for you, what are some of the things that stuck out for you that you're excited for?
Yeah, Cult of the Lamb DLC. I haven't played Cult of the Lamb or gone back to Cult of the Lamb in a little while, but it was such a fun game when it came out, so I'm excited to go back to that.
Yep.
I mean, I am excited. No, you're good. I am excited about
Silk Song?
I am excited about Silk Song. I haven't played the other one, but I'm glad that's coming out for folks, so everyone
Honestly,
can
though.
just take a deep breath and be full of happiness and joy. Oh, the Death by Scrolling, I'm really curious about, by Ron Gilbert of Monkey Island fame. It's a roguelike adventure, like top-down adventure game where the screen is constantly moving up. I'm really curious about
That's
that.
cool. That's cool.
And then, I mean, stuff that wasn't like announced, but Outer Worlds, not Outer Wilds. We'll get to that later. Outer Worlds, Outer Worlds. I'm excited about. I didn't see any of the companion stuff, but I'm just very excited for that game. Is there anything else? Moonlighter 2 is very exciting. I think that's all the big things that I can think of right now, or that I'm seeing on this document. Eric, what about you? What do you see that you were excited about?
Good question. I think I'm excited for the Black Myth game. Black Myth. Oh, I can't. Zhangqiu, I think is what you say. Man,
That seems right.
I'm pretty confident we have no Chinese listeners. No, I don't, or at least people in actual China. However, if I butchered that, I am so sorry to anyone that is offended. That is not my intention. I never beat Wukong, but I want to get back to it. There was a part I was stuck on, and I thought, there's other games I want to play, and I just can't get past this. It took me like 3 days, and I was like, I just don't want to waste more time, so I'm just going to move on and come back. I do want to get back to that, though, because that game is very, very fun. I'm also really excited for the Ghost of Yotai. Ghost of Yotai is going to be great, and I'm really excited to try Legends. I never got around to playing Legends in Ghost of Tsushima, so I think being able to play Legends. Oh, it comes out specifically in 2026.
Yeah, so you'll get the Yotai, and then later it will come out. I think that's what happened with Tsushima, which I think is probably the reason that you didn't go back and play Legends, is because it came out later. But yeah.
Tsushima is great. I really liked Tsushima a lot.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Sad they're not making another Infamous game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like Sucker Punch. Come on, like I need like at least like a remaster or something, like a remake. Remaster or whatever. Give me some Infamous back, because all I have available with me is Second Son, and there's nothing wrong with Second Son, but also no desire to get back to Second Son ever. I miss Cole, miss the electric powers. Also Cult of Lamb. Also, I was kind of excited for it. That's the first paid DLC of that game.
Wow, so much stuff has came out for that game.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're getting their money, because they deserve that money.
I know, like, that game is sold like crazy. So good for them. Moonlighter 2, I'm really excited for. Surprised. I didn't even know about Moonlighter 1 until way after it had come out, and I fell in love with that game. I think it is such a game that can bring in two different styles of gaming, such as dungeon fighting and also shopkeeping, and make it blend so well together. I think Moonlighter 2 is just going to be even more of that good stuff, and it comes out in early access on October 23rd, so I'm really excited for that.
Real soon?
I like that they're doing the graphic changes. Sorry.
I just said real soon.
Yeah. Oh, real soon. Sorry. Yeah. I like the new look of it. I think that it's keeping a lot of the beautiful style that it had in the first game, but I like that they're upping the graphics, and I'm glad they're trying something different with it, because I think that's going to make it more enticing for people who want to get into that. Some people just don't like the 2D look or the pixel look, and that's totally okay. I'm happy that they're trying something new, though. That'd be very, very fun. Outer Worlds 2 looks very fun. I never got into 1, but I think I'd like to get into 2. I don't know if I'll ever go to 1 to do it, but I think 2 would be fun to go into. Chronos New Dawn, the horror game by Bloober Team, who did Silent Hill Silent Hill 2 remake, I should say. And maybe they'll do 1. I think 1 got announced. I think they're doing it. Regardless, I think Chronos looks really interesting and really cool. I think it's a narrative that is going to be compelling, but very, very reminiscent to me of what is that game? The Sony game about the person who, it's a roguelike, the woman.
Oh yes.
The planet. Not Revenant. That's
it does start with an R, though.
It does start with an R.
Respawn?
No.
That's not
look
it.
this up in real time.
Rogue.
For the Storygoers that's screaming this into the TV that we're watching, if it's on YouTube now,
Put a comment
in. Let us know before I find it out right now that you already knew this, and how I should be shamed for Revenant.
Returnal.
Returnal. Ryan! Returnal, you did it. Good job, Ryan.
Thanks, Storygoer, for the up. It was Storygoer. Let me know, and then
Ryan, you're editing this episode. Put a trophy right here.
Okay.
That's so not fair.
Let me just figure out how to do that.
a lot of Googling later. Don't do that. But it feels kind of like that. I think it takes place like in Chronos. Like, you're going into the past and then back to the present, and what you're doing is kind of changing things. And what's really interesting, again, it has like wait, what was the game called again? Returnal.
Yeah.
I want to say Revenant. It's like Returnal and Dead Space combined in a sense. Because I don't know if you saw this, Ryan, but the monsters, if you don't kill them and they get to each other, they merge into a bigger monster.
Whoa.
So you have to shoot the limbs sort of situation.
That
you have to shoot
tension.
at them. Yeah. So it looks
It's
very interesting. I'm happy for Silksong people, though. I am happy. September 4th.
Finally. Yeah.
Yes. I worry for Team Cherry, because I don't know if all this hype will ever get them to where people are going to love this game. I hope so, though. I really, really hope so, because this game, if I remember correctly, if I heard this right, this game has more bosses, I think even more content, really, than the base game. So
wow.
I think if I've heard this correctly, I could be really wrong. If I'm wrong, please put that in the comments below. But I'm pretty sure, and it looks gorgeous. I love the hand-drawn art style. It's so cool. I'm horrible at Metroidvanias. If I was ever in a real Metroidvania in real life, I would not make it. I would not. I would perish. Probably in the first region of whatever the Metroidvania map is. I just get lost and frustrated, and I need a roguelike where it's like you go this way and fight until you die, and I go okay, and then I run and do that.
Got it.
I have to think about it. And then I think there was one more thing. Oh, Absalom. Exalum?
Yes,
Absalom. I never heard about it until Gamescom. I guess they'd announced it recently, but it is by the team who did the newest Streets of Rage. Yes, Streets of Rage. Yeah, right? Is that the game? Streets of Rage?
Yeah, probably. Streets of Rage is a game. That is a game. The Streets of Rage is a game.
I think it's the newest one they did. And it's a really cool hand-drawn art style. So and they just announced a frog wizard. So if you're into either frogs or wizards or both, that's pretty cool. It looks really good. Good beat 'em up game. And it's coming out in October, which is really, really cool. And then, also, Valor Mortis is a roguelike coming from the Ghost Runner team, which is really cool. And it's a very it's coming from a perspective of the Napoleonic Wars. Is that a Napoleonic? There's no A in it. There's no A in it.
Napoleonic? Napoleonic. Sorry. Napoleonic.
Okay, all right. I wasn't calling you out, Ryan. If that was just
I hear you. I hear you. Yes.
Napoleonic Wars. Is that really what they were called? I didn't know that.
There was a bunch.
I knew there was a bunch of wars.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being famous enough to have wars named after you? I mean, you have to be in the wars. Can you imagine the Arionic Wars? I had no part of it. I was just watching
the Eric Wars. Yeah.
But it's taking place during the wars of these French wars, I should say. And it looks really cool. And I guess you play a French soldier brought back from death on the battlefield to take on twisted monsters. So that's pretty awesome. It looks really, really cool. The moment where the monster has 3 guns on its back, and each gun kind of takes position, and you see it. It's like very haunting.
Yeah,
it's very, very cool. And then Routine also. Sorry, I have way more of that. I actually really like this Gamescom. This Gamescom is great. Usually nothing. I thought this was the best Gamescom I've ever seen. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
And so Routine is a really scary one. I'm not sure if I can play it. I think I'm too much of a scaredy baby boy. Chronos New Dawn I can because you have a gun. And you shoot that gun at the scary things. And I can do that. Routine doesn't look like that. You point a camera. And as far as I know, cameras don't shoot bullets. Or else I've used them way wrong my whole life. And I don't want to shoot bullets out of my cameras. But Routine looks very scary. When you have the retro looking camera incorporated into the gameplay of a game, it makes it even more haunting. Like I'm curious how Gen Alpha or even Gen Z feels about the Blair Witch Project, the OG.
Yeah.
Because it still scares me to this day. It's so scary to me. I watched it maybe half a year ago, and I know it's like when you think of it realistically, it's funny and it's not scary. But when you put yourself in that position of this haunting real life footage you find, it for me, I can't help but empathize, and it makes me very scared. And that's what I kind of get from Routine a little bit. That haunting, very Outlast feel, sci-fi Outlast feel.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what happens with that. Lego Batman looks awesome. Looks very cool. I like they're incorporating all the different Batman movies into this. That's very, very fun. Love the Bane joke of him stepping on the Lego. Here's the one I don't like, Ryan. Here's the downer of the game, of Gamescom.
Gamescom, yeah.
Road Kings, I just can't. I can't.
It's more not like your thing, huh?
Road cringe.
Yeah.
I can't get behind this toxic masculinity garbage, and I can't. I just can't do it. I was telling you before the show, because I don't think you saw the trailer yet. I was trying to describe it to you in all of its glory. Why is it always this cool, more like constipated, overweight, ass-style loser, you know what I'm saying? This cool guy behind the wheel and something. There's a literal tornado in this trailer he's going to drive to. You don't need to do that.
No.
Unless you are carrying something that is like literally life or death for something or someone that you really think, you don't need to go towards the storm. This guy, he's probably carrying like a like potatoes from like Idaho or something, and he's like, and of course, who's behind the radio? But a woman. Who we'll take this part out. But I hate that they do that. Like, why can't it be a guy? Why can't it be a concerned guy? It's a concerned woman. Why? Why can't we have a woman behind the wheel? She could be a king.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. Let's be progressive here. Let's have a concerned guy behind the radio, and a really cool girl that's like says some cringy line that is even cringier when a guy says it for some reason. And then I would be all for that. Road Queens.
Road Queens. That'd be a great game.
Yeah, maybe. I'm serious though. I'm tired of these weird like.
People love that. I don't know why, but people love these driving games.
I'm down for the driving aspect of it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I think if I had infinite money, which we have Patreon if you want to know.
If you wanted to give us infinite money.
If I had infinite money, and I could get one of those like driving rig thingies, I would really be kind of low-key interested. I think I could try, because the idea of ever driving a real semi-truck gives me a level of anxiety I would never be able to like actually overcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's terrifying to me.
Absolutely.
When I get on the highway and a semi drives by me, the anxiety's like just, wow, you know what I mean? It's horrible. I would love to do that. It's this weird narrative beat that this man has to go to a tornado in a semi to accomplish a goal that just kind of really does not sit well with me.
Yeah.
And she's like, can we just drive? Does it have to be this?
Why? Right.
Why
do you need to like do something incredibly dangerous that no one should ever do?
Yeah.
To be a cool guy. Yeah.
To be a cool guy when you're just carrying potatoes.
Yeah. Not worth it.
I mean, I'm all for potatoes. Don't get me wrong. I'm a vegan. I love potatoes. You know what I mean? Who doesn't like potatoes? But I just can't. I can't get behind that. So neither here nor there. Teach them. If that's for you, I'm sorry I highly judged you and really put you on the spot, but that's just how I feel. And I feel passionate about it. You may feel differently. Write a comment, but just be kind. I will cry.
Yeah, it's true.
And there's no driving away from that.
Right.
And then I'm actually really interested in Onimusha too. I've never played an Onimusha game.
Oh yeah.
I'm low-key excited for that. I don't know why. I never heard the best things about it. But I've heard it looks very interesting. I like the idea that you're playing as like Musashi, the legendary samurai, who's historically a real person. And it looks very cool, though I have heard it kind of chugs at times, and it's graphically maybe not as impressive as the cutscenes make it look while you're playing it, but we'll see. And then last but not least, sorry, this is taking forever. I thought this would be fast.
That's all right. That's okay.
Sorry.
We're getting into it.
I'll do the last two that I can think of. Fallout Season 2 looks very fun.
Yeah, so
Love
good.
the New Vegas. And Ryan, you made a really good point. If you want to call it out again. Let's put Bethesda on blast right now. Ryan, you have the floor. You look Todd Howard in his face.
Todd, if you do not release a New Vegas remaster with this season, you are the biggest dangus. You will print so much money. You would just people love New Vegas so much. And if you release New Vegas around the timing of this season, they would just make so much money. I wanted to play Fallout so bad when the first season came out, and I just like couldn't find a Fallout that I wanted to play.
Same.
To jump into, but man, just do it. Just there. It's madness.
I almost think, Ryan, but I will get back to this, but just really fast, my brain went to Pokemon. Can you imagine there's a Pokemon named Dingus and then it evolves into Dangus? That's kind of cool.
That's very good. That's incredible, actually. Yeah.
Todd, don't be a Dingus, but please don't evolve into a Dangus. Like that's
no,
bad.
absolutely
like,
not.
Just give us New Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. I tried 4 again, and I just couldn't get Sean. You know what I mean? I just don't like.
Yeah, just don't care about Sean. Yeah.
I'm in a very judgmental mood, I guess, today. Try not to be the man. It's coming out of me.
I mean, you build a fireplace and you just have strong feelings, you know?
I know. I have a semi out in the driveway. I'm going to try to find a tornado after this. But no, Season 2 looks really cool. I love, I give them, don't love Amazon by any means, but I give the team credit because the way New Vegas looks in that show looks so awesome. Looks so very, very cool. Actually, how do you feel about New Vegas getting the game, getting like an official canon ending? This is the first time we've had that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't have any strong feelings. I think you know, folks can have their ending, and like, but the story, like the world needs an ending. I'll be
Yeah.
curious to see what ending they go with, although maybe it's already hinted. But even the fact that there are certain people who show up hints that certain things go a certain way.
Yeah.
I'll be really curious to see, because like the complexities of New Vegas with all the different factions is always really interesting, and the sides or not sides that you have to choose. I played New Vegas probably last year. I replayed through a bunch of it last year, and it still holds up. It's just a really fun game. But yeah, I'm really curious to see where they land. But I don't have any strong feelings about them giving a canon ending. I think they have a story to tell, and to be hamstrung to not be able to touch anything that happened in New Vegas, I think would be really hard. Versus if they get to like make a choice and like play that out, I think that's really fun. And I mean, I think there's like some of those endings are pretty ridiculous and silly, or at least like they feel like kind of ridiculous and silly for what's going on in the world. And then there are some endings that I think if they decide to go that route, it's really cool and maybe very exciting.
Yeah. I think I think you hit the nail on the head with that, Ryan. I think that in order to have a narrative that is connected to this thing that everyone loves so deeply, like New Vegas, you have to have the give and take. If you want to take more of this experience and get more New Vegas, you have to give the control of the idea that there will be a canon ending now. And like, I'm sure some people will not love whatever that canon ending is. I honestly really have no desire for whatever a canon ending might be. Like, I have no one over the other. Personally, I'm just excited to see what they do with it.
Absolutely.
And the idea of like more Mr. House in any sense of that. The idea that we are seeing this version of House that we canonically have talked to already in New Vegas, who also canonically has talked to and interacted with the Ghoul before he was the Ghoul, is really cool to show that this world building is already happening. Like, so much has already happened that we can connect to in season 1, that I love seeing that grow narratively through what we've seen already from season 2. I just think the show does so many good things right, but we're a narrative podcast for video games. And I just can't express enough how great they're doing with this narratively. It's compelling. Absolutely. Really, the only thing I didn't truly connect with was Maximus's story. Maximus? Yeah. I didn't really super connect with his story. I didn't really love his character. I didn't, not like I did with Lucy and the Ghoul, but I'm hoping that season 2 gives me a second chance to kind of maybe connect with him more. I don't think he's a bad character by any means, but I just didn't empathize with him in a way that I did with Lucy and the Ghoul. So
and we got to see more of their stories in a way that we didn't get to see as much of Maximus. At least if I remember. But I also just really hope they reference the courier in some way. I hope they do a courier. I hope they do like some type of courier drop somewhere in there. We'll see. But
would you be supportive of them like bringing the courier into the story?
I don't know where the timelines line up. I
15 years.
It's 15 years. I think I would rather if they didn't, because I think that's them coming up with a canon ending is fine, but them like getting to say what choices my character made, I guess it's the same thing, but that for some reason that feels different. I don't know why.
Because I love the idea. For some reason, the courier, I'm like, don't touch that. But is it the Wastelander from? Is that the third character? Or who's that? What's his name? Is it the
one's the Wanderer.
Wanderer. I think that's 3.
Yeah, and 4 is Survivor. I think the Survivor.
Right?
Something like that. Yeah,
something like that. But if they brought the Fallout 3 protagonist in, for some reason I'm like so down for that. I don't know why. But like, you know, just give me I think that'd be very cool for some reason. But the courier feels different. I don't know why.
I don't know either. And I mean, the courier has more of like you don't really know the courier's backstory at all.
Right.
Going into it, I mean, what was that?
I'm sorry, they're not a vault person.
No, we don't really know, where they came from. You get some in the DLCs when you get the back and forth between the courier and I don't remember his name, but the guy who was like hunting you down for something you did before. Like, there's some of that stuff that's really fun, but but we don't have as much of the courier story as we do with the characters in 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 either. Yeah, because we just pick up in the middle. It's kind of a bummer, I guess. Not that I care that much, but it's kind of a bummer that like I wonder if they could have brought Matthew Perry back as like Benny if he hadn't passed, because he
Yeah.
loved those games.
I think
Didn't
that'd
even
be
think
so
about that.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That sucks. I mean, I feel like they couldn't do that now. I feel like they wouldn't. As much as maybe
No.
Matt Perry would think that's cool, I just don't
I
think
don't.
that's.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no,
doesn't
I don't
fit.
think.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it is a bummer. That is a bummer when those things happen, and you know that you can't have that person involved with the series. I get the same sense of like, I wish Robin Williams was with us still. I mean, for obvious reasons.
For yeah,
to be just alive in general. But to allow him to be in the live action Zelda movie in some way for his love of Zelda.
How much he loved it.
That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Fallout Season 2 already is looking great. I'm just sad it comes out in December. I want it now. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then last but not least for me personally, I am really excited for the Sekiro No Defeat anime.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because he does get defeated in probably the first episode. That is just what happens in the game. But probably after that, there's no defeat.
Right.
And I want to say for anyone who's like really down on the anime because you've heard some rumors, some factual statements of the studio making it using AI, they have come forward to say that everything in this anime is hand drawn. So, in saying that there's no AI being used in this. There's one frame in the trailer that does have a character does have 3 fingers. I don't know if they just drew that because of spacing and because it's really just one frame. I want to believe that there's no AI in this because I don't know. But apparently there's a lot of veterans on this, a lot of people who are in the industry who are making this anime that are very well known. So I'm very hopeful that this turns out well and that there's nothing being used that would be a downer to be used, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. It makes me want to go back and play Sekiro. I actually got destroyed in Sekiro when I played it in 2019. I got just obliterated. I got to a point where I could not beat this boss. Someone told me recently that it was one of the harder bosses in the game. That felt a little validating.
It feels a little better, yeah.
It felt a little validating.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see why I lost a lot.
That boss was hard. You're right. Yeah.
You're right. I was right to give up on that game. But
yeah,
having watched that trailer like 5 times now because the artwork looks so good, I want to go back and play it again soon. So I think once I get through Liza P, I'll have that experience back a little bit again to maybe jump into another Souls-like. Yeah. So yeah, that was Gamescom. I liked it a lot. I would rate it.
Lots of exciting stuff.
I
mean, going through this list, I think more stuff is jumping out at this list than like a lot of the other directs and showcases that we've seen. And I love the breadth of it all. It's like a bunch of it's just a bunch of like weird but different and interesting stuff. Really fun, really cool. I mean, I think, for me, there was nothing that was like blew my mind and I was like super excited. I mean, the Fallout trailer, but I knew that was coming. That wasn't a surprise. I didn't know the timing, but it wasn't a surprise. So maybe like a 7.5, I would say.
Yeah. I was actually gonna say 7, like 7.5. Yeah, I think this had a it felt like a light version of a Game Awards or a Summer Showcase, but it had way more to show than I was expecting, which kind of gets me hyped in the idea that the Game Awards will be stacked. They have all this to show, and a lot of these were really good updates, really good things coming our way. I am hopeful that the Game Awards then feels very confident with what they have to show there.
To be able to show it all. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think doing like a predictions for Game Awards when it comes up would be a fun episode to do.
Absolutely.
Expedition 33 on PlayStation, not PlayStation, on the Switch 2 is my thoughts on what will come.
Yeah. That's a great shout. Yeah.
Just I hope they play more music because they did the
that's
Claire.
the medley.
Yeah. No, they didn't play Claire. They did Amelia. I forget. They played a song.
Yeah,
it's one of the names of the people, and it was great. So I really hope they do more of that at the Game Awards. So we'll see. The pre-show was very good. Pre-show 10 out of 10.
Yeah, what was the pre-show?
It was just this guy. I forget his name. But he just did kind of like the kind of comedy where you're just very kind of like blunt. You're just kind of like, yeah, this thing happened. It was very funny. He did like a top 10 reasons to watch Gamescom, and one of the reasons was like watching developers actively improve their on-stage reading performances or something like that. It was very funny. It was like
Yeah.
it was very like meta kind of joking and it's very funny. So I would highly recommend if you haven't watched the pre-show, I would definitely go and watch that. I think that if they can incorporate that into the Game Awards for this year, I would be very happy. I think that'd be fantastic. He was very good. Whoever that person was, shout out to you. I did a poor job knowing your name, but you were great.
Is his name Kyle? Was his name Kyle?
I had no idea. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I wanted to say Marty. I don't know why.
He looks like a If this is the person,
looks like
he
a
looks
Marty.
like a Marty. Yeah, he's got a Marty
yeah.
energy. Yeah.
He does have a Marty energy.
You know what we didn't talk about is Bugsby 4D at all. We didn't talk about Bugsby 4D at all.
We did not. I never played. I didn't even know about Bugsby.
No.
Bugsby?
It is before our time. Bugsby was. It was on the Atari. It was on the Atari, the initial one.
It's good for you to say that, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think the second or third one came out on PlayStation, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like that they're going into it as like, we know no one likes this.
Yeah.
We still like not like this, but maybe you'll like it a little bit if we just admit it.
Yeah, if we're just open about,
Which is exciting. So, but yes, hopefully you all liked Gamescom as well. Let us know what your thoughts were. What were some of the highlights? Did you like Road Kings? No? Cool. Then we're cool. If you guys are still cool, but I'm just not, maybe we won't connect as well. I don't know. But Ryan, we talked a lot for 41 minutes about Gamescom and general things, but we have a story to get into. We have a narrative.
We do.
Yes.
We have a little narrative, not a huge one, but for me, an important one, like a big one in my heart. We're gonna talk about the Outer Wilds. Magical, wonderful,
Blast off.
Existential, hopeful, but also kind of sad game. Yeah, go for it. Eric, why don't you give us some background influences on the Outer Wilds? Different from Outer Worlds, Outer Wilds.
That is a big...
I do it. I've played both these games and loved them for very different reasons, and I still do it.
Yeah. I think, it'll be interesting if they ever do Outer Wilds too, because then they'll just come back around again. It's going to always happen.
Yeah.
But here's some background and influences for all of us listening and the storygoers. The developer of Outer Wilds is Mobius Digital. Publisher is Annapurna. It's a hard word to say.
It's
Annapurna Interactive.
Name. Yeah.
Director is Alex Beecham. That's a cool last name. Cool last name. That's what I said. All that together real fast and not sound great. Producer is Masioka and Lone Vernew.
Eric, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you for a second just look up who Masioka is?
It sounds
because I found this out in my research, and my mind was a little bit blown by who this was.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I first guess Masioka sounds like a type of plant you would find in the wild.
Okay.
We'll find out. Is that Yatta?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wild, right?
For those who know, it's actor of Heroes.
Yes.
He played who did he play? I forget who he played. What was his name?
No idea.
Hiro Nakamura from Heroes.
Yes. Yeah.
He had the coolest power.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his face from now in Black Ops 7? Who was
right.
This is Us.
Skylar? Was his
Peter.
name Skylar or something?
Skylar had a gross power. He was the guy that
people's
people's brains and
right.
Peter could just copy them, which was like a cool power.
Oh, that is very cool.
Hero had the coolest one. He had the time one. He could,
Right.
Such a cool power. Can you imagine just stopping time and like, I gotta take a nap. I don't want to miss out on time. You know what I mean? So
it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Oh, such a good power. I had no idea.
Me either. I was like doing some research to gather this all together, and I was like, on the Mobius Digital website, it was like, and this game was produced by like actor Masioka. And I was like, who's that? And I was like, oh, it's the guy from Heroes. That's wild that he went on to produce, to create this game studio, and then produce. They've produced 3 games in a DLC, which is wild.
Is he still on the team?
I don't know. I think he just gives them money and helps produce it.
That is so... What a cool... See, that's what I'm talking about. We need money.
We need money. Somebody give us money.
I would love to invest in people's games. That'd be so cool. I'm sure it is way more stress
yeah,
I'm ever going to give it credit for. He is fluent. Masayoka, let's take a segue really fast to Masayoka. He is fluent in Japanese, English, and Spanish. He worked in the 1992 Summer Olympics as the
Whoa,
English,
that's
Spanish,
so cool.
and Japanese translator. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Wow. He is similar to his character Hiro Nakamura. Oka loves to collect manga. He co-produced the 2017 American adaptation of the manga series Death Note. Oh my god!
This guy!
Holy crap! He does a lot.
Yeah.
He also founded the video game studio Mobius Digital Games.
Yeah.
He founded it.
That's wild. Yeah.
Wow. He's also a black belt in kendo.
Whoa!
Oh my god, dude! What does he not do? He's so impressive. Wow. What is Mobius Digital doing now? No,
Nothing. They haven't done anything since Outer Wilds, the DLC. So I feel like they got something cooking.
I guess so. I see this thing on Reddit. Let's see how long ago it's from. Because we all know Reddit is a credible source full of very kind people.
Absolutely.
9 months ago, someone asked, what are they doing now? And people are saying that. They said online, quote, "We're hard at work on our next game," end quote. But also that would have been out anytime soon. Still, they've got something cooking. That person used the word cooking too, Ryan.
Yeah.
You use the word cooking.
That's the word I used.
That's very cool. I never would in my wildest dreams.
Wild, right? Wild.
If you were like, hey, do you think Masayoka is going to come up in conversation today? I would have said, no, definitely not. I don't know how that could happen. I'd be wrong. Back to the game. Writer is Kelsey Beecham, which I'm guessing Alex Beecham and Kelsey Beecham are in some way, shape, or form connected.
Yep, there's probably some relation there.
Bonds. Yeah. Release date for this game, May 28th, 2019, which actually is not as old as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was like 2017.
No. Came out right before things got buck wild in pandemic times.
Perfect timing for a game like this.
Yeah, perfect timing for this hopeful game.
Inspirations for this game was 2001: A Space Odyssey, Apollo 13, the movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. The Pictobox Gallery in Wind Waker. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
In this game is a response to Skyward Sword, telling the player where to go constantly. Oh my god, that's so true. That is one of the biggest faults of Skyward Sword. Interesting. So I guess they got ticked off about Skyward Sword telling them where to go. And they just
Alex, the director, like this game he wrote as like a master's thesis or something like that when he was in school, and then when he joined Mobius, or when he I don't know the history of Mobius, but when Mobius was founded, and he joined or came on, that's when they made this game. But yeah, he's a big Legend of Zelda fan, and he loved the Picto Gallery. You had to like take pictures of things, and like there was a lot of secrets you had to find, and he loved that. And then it seems like Skyward Sword maybe didn't love that as much.
I can appreciate both those aspects to both those games.
Yeah,
one of the best gaming moments on YouTube, at least for the Picto Boxes, Game Grumps. Iconic taking the selfie with Ganon charging behind you. It's like one of the best pictures of Skyward Sword ever. Just it's a straight faced Link, like, and then just like Ganon right here. This plastic thing on my finger. Ganon right here charging with like a sword, 2 swords. It's just such a good picture. I would definitely recommend googling it. Interesting. I love this. This feels like a ragtag team. This feels like Ocean's 11 of game developing, and we're just coming together to make a game. This feels so
and this game was a lot bigger than the other games they made. I think the other games they made were either direct to mobile or like pretty smaller games. So Outer Wilds was like a much bigger game, and when it came out, it was very well received. It was pretty well loved, and still is to this day.
Now we're to memories. Ryan, what is your memory of this game?
Yeah, so 2019, a lot of folks, at least the folks that were listening to in like the Polygon space, like this was Polygon's game of the year. They loved this game. Yeah, they loved this game. I think that it beat out a bunch of other really great games that came out in 2019, like Red Dead 2, maybe.
Oh my god! Wow.
They loved this game. This was like, because this was like the first one of these games. It's like almost created that genre of like puzzly game. They call it Metroid Brainia, where you don't get any more skills. Yeah, you don't get any more skills, but your knowledge changes over the course of the game, and you can use that knowledge to solve the problem, but you don't get more powers necessarily. Like you don't get any stronger, but your knowledge gets better, and so you use that to solve it. Yeah, so this was like the first one of those. So yeah, I first tried it when it came back in 2020 because everyone was saying they loved it and it was incredible. And I tried it and it was very hard and I crashed a lot and I couldn't figure out what I needed to do and I stopped playing. Which, it is a common, experience with this game. And I think if I had one big gripe, which we'll talk to, it's like, the controls and moving through the world can be a really big challenge. In a couple of years ago, I went back because people like this genre of like Obra Dinn and The Case of the Golden Idol and this are some of my favorite game experiences. This like the games where you have to like solve this mystery. So I went back and tried and played it again and just like absolutely fell in love, fully understood why this game is as beloved as it is. And it was like one of the most beautiful experiences, both like from playing, but also like the questions it asks and the things it makes you think about and the way it makes you like process some stuff was really, really cool and incredible. And I absolutely fell in love with it. And yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I think I'm very much in the same space as you. I remember it coming out, but I didn't touch it because I think I was probably playing something else at the time or whatever happened. I just did not pick it up. But I heard all the hype around it. And everyone was saying, like, don't look anything up, just play it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to play this yet, and I'll get to it. I just want to look up anything. And then I just kind of fell off and kept hearing the Outer Wilds, Outer Worlds mess-ups, and just always remembering that game was a thing. Yeah. And so when you brought that you wanted to cover this game, I bought the game on my Steam Deck, and I... sorry, I was adjusting my earring. I wasn't picking my ear. Just for hygiene, I don't know if people think I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all do it, but whatever. I'm not going to do it on camera and not, Anyway, I played it recently, and I loved the way it opens up into what you are having to do without giving away any spoilers, right? But then as I was learning more, I personally struggled because I was not retaining or really understanding the pieces I was given into the puzzle, and from the mechanic itself having to kind of restart, I just kept faltering and not knowing what to do, and it kind of got to this not frustrating but just a struggle that I just felt like I wasn't going to be able to do what I needed to do to understand what I'm supposed to do. And I tried really hard. I remember texting you a little bit about it. You gave me a little bit of clues to look at my computer and everything like that, and that did help, but just not in the way I wanted to. So then I knew I wasn't going to finish in time for this episode, so I was back and forth, like, do I watch a gameplay video and just learn the story? But then I thought, it's interesting because you and I are very similar, I would argue, in perspectives of narratives. Like, we very much hold the same opinions a lot of times of how we see the world, or one of us has a different perspective that is kind of in line with what we're saying. It kind of opens our eyes a little bit more. But for this is really the first time I feel like we've kind of, like, not been at odds or anything like that, but, like, you value the story so much so, and I am struggling to see, not the value of it, but I'm struggling to see it or understand it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a way that's kind of surprising to me, because usually when I get into a game, I really get into the game and I kind of like constantly ADD process it back here. For this game, I couldn't get into it. So then I made a decision yesterday before recording this that I was going to go into this blind still, having the pieces I've gathered so far. And my hope is that from talking about it with you and learning more about what the story means, it'll maybe want to inspire me to go back and play it more. Yeah. So I was proud I got to the, well, I'll keep it just in case it comes up. But I got to a certain spot and I was really proud of myself navigating it.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. When you can successfully fly the ship, I dropped my fidget on the ground, which is just a plastic piece of nothing. When you can successfully fly the ship without breaking everything, it does feel like an accomplishment.
Yeah.
But there is like this. It's the same feeling you get when someone falls in Peak, when you see your ship floating off from you and you're like, there is no way I'm going to get that back.
It's gone now. Yeah.
There's just like a little bit of dread that you feel. And it's like, that's gone forever. And forever only lasts so long, right? But
absolutely.
So it's kind of, it's a funny feeling. I remember going to a black hole and what happens there was very, very funny to me. I was like, well, I'm just going to hang out here, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think, I'm curious if other people feel this way. Yeah. So if anyone else who's listening to this feels this way, I would love to know more about that perspective. But I'm someone who if I don't get into something, learning about the narrative or learning more about the game helps me to want to go back to it. It doesn't feel like I'm spoiling anything. Like going through this whole story, technically I'm going to be spoiled on that story, but a lot of times that invigorates me to want to go back and play it again.
Yeah.
Because I think living through that story is even more powerful than just hearing it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Especially for this game, I think there's a moment, and we'll get there, but there's a moment at the end of this game that is like, there's actually two moments that are like took my breath away. Like the scope and the scale and the music that was playing was just like so powerful that like I don't have the words to describe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How that
Yeah.
felt. But like seeing it and experiencing it was like so incredible. And like, you know, it does, especially towards the end of the game, does some like weird, like trippy, but like in this, yeah, like some really magical stuff, in a really weird and wild way.
I think that's what's so great about this new format that we're doing comparatively to what we did in the past with doing the scripts. I think what's great about this, and we kind of saw this, maybe hopefully everyone saw this in the Claire Expedition episode, is like you can't touch on the impact of this story unless you go through it, or you've already gone through it, and talking about it kind of reinvigorates those feelings that you had through that experience. So it's just kind of good to hear about the way, as much as someone can convey, they felt during this experience, and hopefully invigorate someone to be like, wow, I want to know more. I want to see what that actually feels like rather than hearing it secondhand. Because these, I mean, say what you will, there's so many narratives and so many different mediums, but video games are just special in that you literally live through that experience from that perspective. And that's so powerful. And especially in a game like Outer Wilds, where like your view is you, like you are this character and you are living this story, and that's really powerful. So it'll be very cool to see where this goes, because I still racking my brain to understand what I have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this will click a lot of things in place. I will say, one of the things that is extra difficult about the story of this game is it all comes together at the end. Like you have all of these pieces that like sometimes are just a little story that you'll get a little clue in that little story that leads you to something else, and sometimes that leads you to a big place, and sometimes it doesn't, and it just like there's dead ends. And so that how the story is organized, I think sometimes makes it hard to hold it all in your brain. And I think definitely going through it a second time allowed me to like have some of the big pieces in my head of what was happening, and like, oh, I know where I need to go or what I need to do. I just have no idea how I need to get there. What steps do I need? And that is helpful. I don't know if that'll be everyone's experience, but yeah, I'm happy to jump in and kind of pull back, you know, what is actually happening, because there's some weird stuff going on.
Yeah. I almost picture like I'm sitting, you know, the Patrick Star meme where he has like the board nailed to his head. Like I picture myself in that position, and I see like you like at a board with a puzzle piece, and you're holding this puzzle piece I've seen so long, and you go, this goes here, and I go, oh,
yeah, absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen
absolutely.
here. Yeah,
for sure.
But I'm excited. I'm actually really excited to see, because I haven't read your conclusions on the story yet in the document that we have, like because we did that last time with Claire, and I'm really excited to see what your end perspective is, and then as I'm building mine in real time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be
Absolutely.
cool to see if we get to the same conclusion or not.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's dive in. I just want to say full spoilers, obviously.
Yeah,
going into this,
100%.
Also spoilers for the DLC. I went back and forth for a while to figure out, should I put the DLC in? Should I not put the DLC in? And ultimately, in my playthrough, I didn't do the DLC. The reason being, I've heard it's very scary.
It's scary?
It's real scary.
What is that stupid space worm? He's dumb.
It's spookier than the space worm.
Really?
Yeah. I've heard it's really wonderful. And then me going back and reading, I think it's really important. I think it gives you a layer and a perspective that is really valuable. So I included it here. So just be aware. I'm not gonna tell you every single thing that happens. There's still a ton more to dig into to understand. We're gonna do broad strokes, but I included it because I thought, and we can talk through at the end if you agree, Eric. But I think it adds a perspective and that is useful and interesting to the overall story.
I love the idea, really fast forward jump into this. I love the idea that we are providing, or we are going through the broad strokes of a story. In Storygoers, it's your opportunity, if you want to go through and get the small details done.
Yeah.
And if not, that's okay. You have the broad strokes.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of cool.
You'll still be able to like have a conversation with somebody about this game, but
Yeah.
maybe you don't know this like esoteric. You know, there's really some deep stuff in there you can find if you want to.
Yeah. Space farms.
Space worms. Yeah.
He's a jerk.
Absolutely.
He's a huge jerk. I'm just trying to look around.
Yeah.
You're gonna come and do that to me?
that.
In my universe? You know who I am? It's like the Al Pacino of Outer Wilds. You know
Yeah,
who I am?
absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah, so let's dive in. So this I broke this into 3 parts, and those 3 parts are we're gonna start the farthest back in the timeline, and we're gonna come forward. In each part, we're really gonna focus on a species of people. And the first people we're gonna focus on is the inhabitants of what is called the Stranger. These are like elk people. They walk on 2 legs. They've got owl faces, and they've got big elk antlers. They lived on this like beautiful verdant moon that circled a gas giant, and one day one of their like astronomers and they use this like weird telescope that like sends the signal into their brain because they've got weird technology, picked up this weird signal out of nowhere. They didn't recognize, they didn't understand it, and this entire society became obsessed with this signal. So much so that they decided they were going to build a ring world, which if you played Halo, you know what a ring world is. It's a big spaceship that is as big as a planet that is a circle. They built a ring world that will allow them to travel and go and find this signal. And they became so obsessed with finding this signal that they like fully destroyed their homeworld. They cut down all the trees. They ravaged it. It is like no longer livable, but not a big deal. We've got this beautiful ring world. It's all we need. We're going to go find this signal, and they've built temples to this signal. It's become a part of their culture. They become obsessed with this signal because it's there's something about it that is like gripping them and is making them really curious and interested in it. And so they build the ring world. They travel. It's this big celebration. They've done it. Every single person in their species is on this ring world and travels to find this signal. They make their way towards the center of the universe. To this small solar system with 6 planets. They really ignore the 6 planets. They don't care about those 6 planets. They go and find this signal. And when they find this signal and when they kind of interact with it, they discover that this signal, and the thing making this signal, has the ability to destroy everything, to wipe everything out, to completely destroy everything in the universe. And they get mad. They ruined their world. They ruined everything. They left everything behind to chase this signal. And now it's nothing. It's something that is dangerous and scary and bad. And so they build a shield around this signal so it can't communicate with anybody else. Because if somebody else finds it, they could destroy the universe with it. And they start to kind of get real bummed out and real sad at the world they left behind. And they start, they have this, they're pretty advanced technology-wise, and they build this giant computer, and they are able to build, similar to another story we've covered, a 3D version of their world. And they start uploading their brains to this 3D version of their world because it looks just like their home world. They don't have to worry about this tragedy of finding this thing that's terrible. So they built this barrier. They wipe any trace of their history, of their arrival in this solar system, and they build a cloaking device around their spaceship, and they go dark. Everyone just kind of goes into this, even after they die, their minds still persist in this artificial world. But one of the people of their species doesn't really think that this eye is maybe as evil as everybody thinks, and doesn't really think it's as bad, and is really curious. They want to know more about what this thing is, so they escape. They leave. They let everybody else go in, and they don't go in, and they go and they turn the signal back on. They turn off this barrier. The signal goes back out, but then this person is caught and trapped. They put the barrier back up, and this person is trapped forever, not in their home world, but in like the real world, alone in this empty spaceship forever. and the signal goes dark. The signal goes dark again. The ship is cloaked. As far as anybody is concerned, nobody knows who these people were, or what they did, or what they left behind. And that's the story of the first species to interact with this strange signal. I think that in the community they're called like Owlek or Owlelk because of what they look like. They don't have an in universe name because that has been wiped out. There's none of them left. They're called the ring world ends up being known as the Stranger, and they just become known as the inhabitants of the Stranger, and this person becomes known as the Prisoner, and that's really the only thing we know about them. And the DLC is exploring this story of these people that came here and who blocked this signal and did this thing. So that's where we're at, Eric. Jump in there.
A question. Well, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to overstep. So I'm going to ask a very vague question that you'll likely know what I'm talking about. These inhabitants of the Stranger, are they tied into any kind of statues that I may have seen?
They're not.
No. Okay.
They're not.
So
We're
they're
gonna
not
get to that
tied
after.
Any statues I may have seen.
No.
Or
Yeah.
interacted with in this game. Okay. Are we going to talk about that aspect of it too?
That's next. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to talk
All
about
right.
that next.
So okay, that is a huge risk. I'm kind of sitting with this idea like, well, it's hard because I feel like individual perspective is so important, right? And mass belief can be so powerful if correct, but so dangerous if not. And we've seen that historically.
Yeah.
It's so hard because I'm curious. I don't know if I sympathize with this prisoner or not.
Yeah.
I don't know if I sympathize with them because like, rather than trying other ways to figure out what this signal's goal is or what the signal's trying to do, this prisoner just turns it back on anyway, which feels very destructive rather than actually sitting with this and trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And what a devious way to try to get this to go. Everyone's like, all right, everyone flip the switch so your brains get uploaded. Like, okay. And he like just like pretends to flip the switch. Oh, he's like acting it out like, oh, I'm getting uploaded. And everyone's like, okay, this is weird. So he must not have been the very last person then because they got caught, right? Because they can't come out of these worlds, I'm guessing, right?
You can come out. You can go in and out. You can like choose to go in and out. Once your body dies, like once enough time passes that your physical body dies, you can't come back out.
Right.
But you can like jump back in and out as long as your body is still, salvageable essentially. I think they might be they're kept in some type of stasis when their brains are in there, but over time that eventually fails and the body decays and dies.
Ugh, yeah, that would not be good.
Yeah.
I mean, not be good. You like. Can I make a joke? Is that okay? Is that perfect?
Yeah, you can make. Yeah, of
You
course.
sure? Okay. I just picture like someone like just having a great. I don't know why this is why I picked in my brain. I just picture someone drinking like a lot of like ginger ale or something for a party. Like, all right, I'm gonna go back to the computer. Without remembering, they drank a whole lot of ginger ale. So like they spend time in the computer, come out, and they just have wet their pants like just horrifically. They're just like, oh no! And they just flick the switch and they go back inside the computer. They don't
not
want to
dealing with it. Yeah.
I don't want to touch that.
Absolutely.
Just let me go. Let me go at that point. They're like, you're only like 26. You have so much left. No, I don't want to go back. I'm good.
We're just gonna stay. It's so cool in there. It's a bummer here. Yeah. Ginger ale everywhere.
I get ginger ale here, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know why ginger ale is the drink of choice.
It's
I love
delicious.
ginger ale.
Yeah.
Off topic, so good, but so much sugar. It's so not good
Yeah,
for you.
absolutely.
But it tastes delicious. But no, I think that's so. Sorry, going back to this now. Sorry, that was a tangent my brain went on. So interesting that they punish the prisoner too, rather than trying to understand. Because I guess I can kind of see when they kind of realize this thing has the potential to destroy the world, and this one person is trying to turn it back on. I can see from the masses' perspective why this individual, this prisoner, is kind of a bad individual from what their perspective is, right? Now I'm very curious if this is going to play into the overarching story if this prisoner is actually right. Because I also feel like if you're trying to figure something out and then you actually were doing wrong, does that mean you have done wrong? Because I would say yes.
Yeah.
Because like this feels very all or nothing in learning of what this could be. Because like, what if I couldn't beat that person? Because I don't think I could flip the switch back on, thinking that maybe I could have killed everybody. Mm-hmm. I could have killed the universe. Like that's so heavy. But then once you're gone, would you even think about it? Would you be able to comprehend what you've done? You know what I mean? Like it's.
Right. Yeah. Keep those questions in your brain, Eric. Keep those questions in your brain.
They're all right here. Ginger ale, questions of the brain.
Keep them there.
All right, I'm done with the generic stuff.
No, I think that's no, that's fine. Yeah, so that's these first folks, and I think what's important to take away from these folks is that they had a reaction to this signal, and that caused them to make a choice of what they wanted to do, and they found something that scared them, and their reaction was to, we're gonna hide it to keep everybody safe from finding it. And then they hid themselves, and then they vanished from, they created an alternate version of this world because they destroyed their home world, and now they're, gone and lost in their own space.
It almost feels like a little, not in the same way, obviously, but a little bit of a comparison to what we're dealing with in the real world through I think I would argue a very small portion of the world that thinks that we can just go to another planet and what's what I'm looking for?
Terraform,
thank you. Terraform. And just restart anew, when it's like there's still plenty that could be done here if we just made healthier, better choices. The theme that comes up to me, and if I'm overstepping already, Ryan, cut this out.
Please.
But
no.
This first section of the story, dealing with the strangers, feels like the cautionary tale of be careful what you wish for. Mm-hmm. Because to make your whole world this thing that you don't even understand yet, to incorporate into a culture, to incorporate into a lifestyle, to incorporate into a belief that wasn't even fully understood, I don't hold a lot of sympathy for the anger that this group felt, because what were you expecting? I think they had these high hopes that this was going to be a meaningful experience, but no one ever gave them that guarantee. No one ever told them that was the case. That was just this narrative they told themselves, which is very, seems very destructive now. They had to build a digital consciousness to upload. Very Soma style, which is like, if you don't know, go back and listen to Soma, because that was a great story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. So next we're going to dive into the Nomai, which are the folks that you know of, Eric, that you have interfaced with.
They have built statues.
They have built statues, and we're going to talk about why they built those statues very, very soon. So the Nomai are these like spacefaring nomads that travel in clans. The clans are oftentimes named after the ship captain. So the signal, it was stopped. But before it was stopped, it was out. It blasted in the universe for a little bit. And over, hundreds of years, thousands of years, sound takes a really long time to travel in the universe. One of these Nomai groups found this signal. They really quickly realized, they figured out where the signal was coming from, but then they really quickly realized, the signal isn't broadcasting anymore. And the Nomai have traveled all over the universe. What their whole vibe is, they want to understand the universe. They travel to different places in these nomadic ships, these colony ships. They travel somewhere, they colonize it, not in like necessarily a destructive way, as oftentimes is thought of with colonization. But they find new star systems, they understand, how they work and what's going on, and then, they go off to the next one and try to understand that one. And that's their whole culture is understanding the universe. This signal is something they've never heard before, and this signal seems to be older than the universe itself. This signal is ancient. It is incredibly old, and they are so excited to hear this signal. So excited they make a really quick decision, because this signal is going to end, and they're not going to be able to figure out where it is, to jump to where the signal is coming from. Jump to the solar system. They don't have a chance to tell the other Nomai where they're going, what they're doing. This group of folks in this clan, I think they're called Else Callers, or doesn't matter. The name of the captain is the name of the clan. They decide that we're going to jump into the star system and figure out what this signal is. They make this jump, and unfortunately, where they land is in a place called the Dark Bramble. Is that what it's called?
The Dark Bramble? Sorry, I know what this is.
Yeah, they teleport into the Dark Bramble. They teleport into the Dark Bramble. Their ship is damaged when they teleport in. Sirens are blaring. The life support system is failing. They've got 3 escape pods. They load everyone in the escape pods and they launch them away. One escape pod gets lost in this weird, like, extra-dimensional space where you could be traveling for a long period of time, and then ended up you didn't go very far at all. And there's this real funkiness going in there. And they, unfortunately, they try to follow their signal back to their ship. and they just find this like small orb that seemingly their ship is right there, but it's not. It's far away. But the how this space works is things travel weirdly through it, and you can't really you if you follow signals, they might lead you to a portal that takes you to that place somewhere else, and it's really messy. They don't make it. That first escape pod, everybody dies. They suffocate. The other 2 escape pods land on 2 other planets. One, this like kind of fragile like shell of a planet that's got a pretty thin crust, and then the other, they land on this planet pretty close to the sun, this pretty small planet pretty close to the sun. And they start to build a civilization. They're pretty technologically advanced, and they build the civilization, and over hundreds of years they build cities, and they rebuild themselves. They have children. And again, the idea of this signal, which they now call the eye of the universe, they become obsessed with this eye of the universe, this incredible thing that, you know, it came from somewhere here. Something here, you know, broadcast that signal out. And eventually, after hundreds of years, they kind of get their feet under them, and they are somewhat stable. And they've got, temples and cities on every planet in this system. And they start to build all kinds of wild things. A group of their scientists sit down and say, hey, we want to figure out where this signal is. And one of the quirks of this system is there is a white hole and a black hole. The black hole is in the middle of one of these planets, and the white hole is on the far other side of the solar system. So if you go in this black hole, you pop out the white hole. But what they discovered is when you go in the black hole, you don't instantly travel to that white hole. You actually appear out of that white hole about 3 or 4 seconds before you would have gone into the black hole. You're almost traveling back in time. You're existing in both places at the same time when you enter this black hole. And they continue to experiment with this, and they figure out if they can build a machine that can harness this power, they could, you know, search the universe to find this signal by using this technology. And they figure it would take probably about 22 minutes for a probe to get where they think the eye of the world is. And they just need enough power to, you know, build this teleporter to bring that probe back after it finds it. And the only power source in this solar system they can think of is the sun. If they could cause the sun to supernova and harness the energy of that sun, they could send this probe. This probe could travel where the eye of the world is. If it doesn't find it, teleports back, and then they send it back out again. But you only get one chance when you supernova the sun. You don't get to do it over and over again. But they discovered that because of this time loop, you teleport back, and really when that probe gets there and comes back, it didn't actually go anywhere because that's how time works. But the sun isn't going to explode for thousands of years. So what they do is like, well, we could explode the sun. We could cause the sun to supernova. And because of this time loop that we're creating, if we could upload our brains somewhere into this storage system, that then after the eye of the world is found, we are brought back to consciousness, and we go to the sun station and we turn off the thing that's supernovaing the sun. The sun doesn't supernova. We know where the eye is. We go find it. And that's all we have to do. So we built this space station that causes the sun to supernova. We have this vault that is buried deep inside of a planet that even a supernova can't impact. It is so dense and strong, and it's built out of the strongest metal anywhere in the solar system that's found in this tiny planet that's mostly ocean. And there's these like weird aquatic creatures that live there, and there's this incredible powerful metal that if they could build a barrier, even the supernova wouldn't be able to penetrate it, and they could build their like databases inside that. So even if when the sun supernovas, you know, they have to wait 22 minutes, they die, and then their minds, which are uploaded into that, that memory bank, once the time loop reloops, they come back. It tells them what happened. The data that the probe found sends them back. They didn't really want to live through the supernova happening over and over and over again. So they set it up so it'll only activate those statues, bringing their consciousness back when the eye of the world is found. So that's their plan. It'll only activate. So even if they're going to supernova the sun. This probe is going to, over, thousands of years maybe, send out in different directions and then keep teleporting back on this 22-minute loop. And the sun will keep supernovaing it. But once they find it, they'll get woken up. They'll turn off the supernova. They'll go find the eye. Problem solved. Not a big deal. We can find the eye of the world. We can figure everything out. They go and they get ready to supernova the sun, and it doesn't work. Nothing happens. They can't figure out what it is. They can't figure out what's going on. Why didn't this work? We built all this stuff, but they cannot get the sun to supernova. And they're kind of distraught. They spent hundreds of years building all this infrastructure and machines and materials, harvesting materials from all across the solar system to like build this system so they could go find this eye of the world that they haven't served since. But they can see like hints to it. And one of the things they notice is there's this moon, this quantum moon that seems to jump around all throughout the solar system. But sometimes it's not anywhere in the solar system. And if you go on that moon, and for some reason you don't observe the moon itself, if you cover your eyes, the moon moves, because that's how quantum mechanics works. Things change only when you're observing them. If you're not observing them, they are allowed to change. As soon as you observe them, they're frozen in place. So if you're looking at this moon, it stays right where it is. But if you're not looking at this moon, it goes elsewhere. And they eventually discovered the other place this moon goes is seemingly to the eye of the world. It's like it seems to orbit this eye of the world. They can't like leave this moon. It's just not. There's this massive storm that doesn't let them leave this moon when it's at the eye of the world. But they know they're there, so they know it's there. They know kind of how far away it is. They know they get there, and it actually becomes this like cultural practice that you. As when you're in Nomai, you go to this quantum moon, you go to this temple, you pray to the eye of the world, and then you go back and become a scientist or whatever.
As one does.
As one does. But yeah, they're distraught. They don't know what to do. They've gambled on this thing working, but they cannot get the sun to supernova, and it's not going to supernova itself for thousands of years. So like, if they can't activate it, they've done all this work for nothing. But this comet enters the solar system. That seems to be incredibly powerful, has this incredible amount of energy. Maybe that comet has what we need. Maybe we can somehow harness the energy of this comet and use that to, get our loop going. And we can still make this work. We just have to get to this comet. So they quickly send a team to this comet to check it out. Unfortunately, they really quickly discover this comet, the energy in this comet is much more dangerous than the supernova of the sun. And it is incredibly pressurized. And if this comet were to, be accessed, it would rupture and explode, and radiation would pour throughout the universe, throughout this solar system, and wipe everything out. But they discover that too late, and the comet gets close to the sun, and it explodes, and every single Nomai in this solar system dies. Everything in the solar system dies. This ghost matter covers the entire solar system and kills everyone inside. The one thing about ghost matter is it can't work in water. So the only ones spared would be beings who happen to live in water. And there's these small amphibians on this small planet who aren't killed by the ghost matter. And after thousands of years, they eventually come out of the water and they start their own space program. And we can get in that into just a second. But Eric, there's a whole bunch of stuff for you. Of what's going on, and there's a lot more details there that I didn't include here, but yeah, they want to find this eye, and the best way to do it is to travel with this time loop. The only way to get that energy is the sun. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, and then they find another energy, and they don't take enough time to think about it, and they rush into it, and everyone ends up dying because of it.
So again, be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for.
So if I'm getting this correct, right, I want to make sure I'm understanding this. Because I can't be the only storygoer that's kind of wrapping my head.
It's real confusing.
Maybe this is why I didn't get it, because I'm kind of like one of those dum-dums. Knowledge-wise, not sucker-wise. Maybe both.
Dum-dums are delicious.
They are so good. The root beer is my favorite.
Yeah.
But orange is good too. That's neither here nor there. So what I'm understanding is this. When they supernova the sun, they use the energy of the black hole and white hole to send the probe out to gather the data on where the eye could be. But then
they harness the energy of the sun to send the probe.
Oh, okay.
and then to bring it back. And when you bring it back, you're actually bringing it back 20 minutes earlier before you ever launched it.
Right.
Because of how travel
and that's
works.
how they're getting the data.
And that's how they get the data. So once they get that data, they turn off the supernova. Not a problem anymore.
Right.
So what's actually looping? The supernova of the sun, they send the probe, and then the data is sent back 22 minutes beforehand. They could then turn off the supernova before it ever happens.
Right. So they can just stop it from ever occurring. They don't have to worry about it.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Foolproof.
That makes total sense now. Foolproof. Yeah. Can you imagine? Sometimes I wonder about the first time someone does something and how wild that probably was for people to hear. Like the first person that ever like saw a chicken egg and was like, "What if I ate this?" Everyone's like, "Ooh, I don't know about that, man." Or someone saw like cow's milk and they're like, "What if I drank that?" Like, what? No, why would you do that? It's weird. Can you imagine the first person that ever like suggested that? Like, what if we supernova the sun? And everyone's like, "All right, get Carl out of here." There's no way we're doing that. It's such that just feels like, again, like such a huge decision to make just for this knowledge. Like what this is kind of the pursuits that I am fearful of. I've never been in a pursuit like this, but I worry the level of extremes that one could go to in the pursuit of knowledge or the pursuit of gaining something, because I feel like gaining whatever that thing is never as enjoyable as the thought of gaining that thing, right? I think we've all, as people who play video games, who listen to this probably, right, have experienced that, where you have seen a game that you are so excited for, like the excitement is so high and so like intense that you just cannot wait for this game to come out. It's so exciting, so deep. You get the game and you may enjoy the game or maybe not enjoy the game, but that level of excitement is just not there. And so you kind of spent all this time excited about this thing that did not give you the results you were looking for. And I kind of feel like that's what this is. Like what could possibly you gain from this eye that is worth all the trouble of potentially supernovaing the planet, just supernovaing the sun, I mean. It's interesting how such smart creatures can make such silly decisions, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but just intense decisions. Like, it makes me question, not to go super philosophically deep, what it means to be intellectual, to be smart. Does it mean that you can supernova a planet, but then use, physics to stop that? Or is it maybe like saying like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this? You know what I mean? Like maybe that's the smarter choice. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. But this is definitely opened my eyes to what, again, more puzzle pieces going in places for me. This makes a lot more sense. The statue I still don't get. But maybe that'll come next.
Yeah, so the statue is essentially how they would upload their memory into those statues, so that when every reset, it'll bring them back. That's what the Nomai built those statues to hold their, and that statue is paired with another statue that's inside that like vault, and so just like that data from the probe is sent back and forth, their consciousness is sent back and forth. So that once they find the eye and they come back, they're like, oh, I need to turn this off before it happens again. Their consciousness is transferred. But it was set up to only activate once the eye has been found. So they never actually used those statues because they hadn't found the eye. That was the trigger. So the statues only activate once the eye has been found, and that data has been sent back to that metal ball.
Interesting. So then, hypothetically, if the comet hits the sun does supernova, everything gets wiped out. Essentially, that's not water based. Yeah. Does that mean that the eye also gets impacted by this explosion?
The eye isn't necessarily here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The signal was coming from this area for a reason. Or at least around this area for a reason, but the eye itself isn't here. The eye is the center of the universe, kind of, or something. The probe has to travel 22 minutes into the universe away from this location. So this is close. 22 minutes is real close when you're talking universe-wide, but it's not here.
Okay, not exactly there. So the explosion wasn't going to ever impact the eye because it's not at this location necessarily.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've had these two people who've heard this signal, and have gone through like one. They found it wasn't really what they wanted, and so they felt real sad and they kind of shut themselves away. These folks, they kind of heard it, but they don't understand it in the same way. They don't know what it can do, and they become obsessed and excited and do everything they can to find it. So much so that they put like themselves at risk, by doing so.
Both
and then
essentially, right?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then we get to the Hearthians, who you play as in the game of Outer Worlds from Timber Hearth. Thousands of years pass. The relics and villages left behind for the Nomai become faded. There are these ancient people, these ancient spacefaring people who had this incredible technology that we don't understand. You are a member of the Outer Wilds Venture Space Program, one of 5 or 6 individuals who's gone off into space to try to understand your universe. Ghost matter still exists, although it over thousands of years it has faded. It's not as dangerous as it once was. If you run into it, it can still hurt you, but it won't wipe you out immediately. So you're a member of the space program, and you are going on your maiden voyage out into the universe. There are others who've gone off and gone on adventures, and they are out there doing their own thing, and you can listen to their beautiful music and find them that way. And they are off in the world. And before you go off on your venture, you go to the go to the museum, and you find one of these Nomai statues. And for some reason, it activates. You don't know why. We know why now. The Eye of the World has been found. Its location has been found, but it activates. In that moment. It's in general. It's found it. One of these probes has found it. But unfortunately, the sun has the thousands of years the Nomai's predicted until the sun was supernova has came to pass. The sun is not exploding because of a reason, but because it's the end of its life cycle. And so if it wasn't for the fact that you'd found this statue, the Hearthians and everyone in this universe would be wiped out because sun's supernova, and that's just what suns do. And actually, this has been happening a lot in this universe. Stars are going out all over the place. You notice them vanishing. Seemingly the energy in the universe is slowly fading, as is ours. Planets move farther away. The energy that created the universe was finite, and over time it fades. And just like this universe, the energy is fading. And our star, the Hearthian star, is at the end of its life cycle. Thankfully, or I guess not thankfully, the Nomai have also the Eye of the World has been found, seemingly over the course of this timeline. But who knows? There's some haziness here because I don't, and maybe this is in the game and I just don't fully, my brain is having a hard time understanding it because there's a lot going on here. Like, the Eye of the World has been found, which means these probes have kept sending out over this timeline, but only after the supernova started. So in the timeline of the game, you've maybe experienced, I think there was 9 million. This was the 9 millionth probe that had finally found the eye. So when you're jumping into this game that first day, seemingly this has happened lots of other times before. Like this day has been lived out over and over again, and just no one is aware. And you're not aware until you see this statue. So to you in this game, this is just your first initial day. But you've been living out this day over and over again for who knows how long. Because the loop has happened. The sun supernovas, and this time gets sent back and forth. And when you find this statue, your mind is then sent into that data bank. And now every time that the sun supernovas and everything in this universe dies, you come back and you remember what happened. And it's your first day into space. You've got a lot to figure out. And really, what I love about this is you don't have any of this background we just talked about. And what you think your goal is to stop this supernova. That's what you're trying to do. What you learn over the course of the game is you can't stop this supernova because it just happens. It's just the end of the universe, right? It's the end of this star. This isn't something you can change. It's going to happen. So then you need to figure out, what do you do then? And that's something over the course of exploring and learning more about the Nomai and learning about what they do. What do you decide to do with that time? You could relive this day over and over again, you could go try to find this eye that the Nomai seem to be obsessed with and maybe figure that out. And eventually that's what the Harthian decides to do. Who knows how long it took them to make this decision. Who knows how many loops they've done. But they know the eye's out there because they've found it through their travels of this universe. They found all kinds of secrets of the Nomai that they left, of the technology that they had, of the people that lived here, these people who had relationships and who cared about each other, these Nomai. They had a whole life that was wiped out. And this Harthian, you through your discoveries eventually figure out that you can't stop this supernova. So then what do you do then? Really the only thing to do is you can either choose to, just live this out and stay in this time loop forever, or you can go figure out where the Eye of the World is. And that's a whole wild adventure of things that you have to do in a very specific order. In order to find the Eye of the World. That includes, understanding how the quantum moon works and traveling there to learn information, to going into the center of the ocean world that has a massive storm on it. If you find the right tornado that pulls you down instead of pushes you up, you can get to the center of that world and find all kinds of information there. And there's a whole bunch of other mysteries out there. But ultimately, those mysteries, I think, are best for you guys, storygoers, to find and figure out for yourself. But ultimately, the Harthian decides to, who knows how long they were in this time loop, to go find the Eye of the World. And to do that, they have to do a very specific thing. Oh, and also as part of this, as they're adventuring, as they're exploring the universe, they eventually find the stranger, this ring world. A strange signal is beamed to them. And if you travel out to this probe out in the very edge of the universe, you can find this strange signal that if you're looking at just the right time, you can see some shadow pass in front of the sun of some strange cloaked ship, and then you can go and explore and learn more about these people and eventually free the prisoner and talk with that prisoner who's still alive after all this time. And he can tell you how sad he is of the choices he made and how lonely he's been being trapped for all this time, for thousands and thousands of years, trapped in this place. You also go and meet your other Harthians who are out there traveling. Some are trapped in this strange bramble full of anglerfish. They're actually anglerfish, not worms. Strange anglerfish who are attracted to the sound of ships. So if you make noise, if you don't use your engine at all, they don't come after you at all. But if you use your engines at all, they will come right for you no matter what. You can follow a signal to find one of your friends in there. And you also run into Gabbro, who is this very chill dude hanging out in a hammock. And he also ran into a statue. And he realized he's in a time loop. But he's decided to just relax and enjoy this time that he has left and just be happy that he's had this chance to live, and that he gets to be in this space where he can just hang out on a hammock and be happy while he waits for the universe to explode, and he gets to do it again. Wow. And that's the choice he made. But you've decided that you want to go and figure out how to find the Eye of the World. And so through a bunch of things that include going to that vault and taking out the power source from that vault that keeps your memory back and forth, knowing that if you mess up, you will not come back. Your mind will not come back. Taking that power source, going back into the Gramble to find that ship, putting in the coordinates of the Eye of the World that have been found. The Eye of the World coordinates have been blasted somewhere. The Noma have gotten it. You put the coordinates in, and you travel to the Eye of the World. And you find this incredible, vast expanse of this massive storm. You're in the center of the universe. And this giant eye, it is so stunning and intense to see. I do not have the words to describe how immense and wild it is. And things get real weird here because the eye is funky. Time works differently at the eye. Its existence is weird. And once you get to the Eye of the World and you land and you walk on this strange obsidian world, and you finally find the eye, which is this massive storm in the middle of it. And you observe the eye, and by observing the eye, you change the eye, because like many things in the universe, when you see them, you change you freeze it in place. You eventually see that the universe is dying. There's just not enough stars left. Everywhere is going to die. And what the eye is trying to do is reset everything. Let's start again. Let's do another big bang. But they need somebody there. They need somebody there to see it, because it can't happen if you don't see it. And so they need somebody there in the Eye of the World to see the end of the world and then see what comes after. So the Harthian goes to the Eye of the World, and it becomes like the strange forest, and you go and you find all of your friends who you met along the way, who all say like, hey, I'm, this is sad that the universe is ending, but I'm glad I'm here with you at the end of the universe, and we can be here together. And eventually they fade. You run into the Elka guy again. He's like, hey, thanks for, finding this thing. I knew there was something here. I didn't understand it, and I still am not happy with what happened to my people, but I'm glad I'm here and to be a part of this. And eventually you bring the end of the universe. It ends. But then a new universe is made, and because you were there to see it, you get to shape what it looks like, what comes next. So when the universe is reborn, maybe there's some creatures that look like Harthians out there. Maybe there's some creatures that look like the Nomai out there. Maybe there's some creatures that look like the Elks out there, the Owl Elks out there. And you get to see the universe remade. And in your last moments, you get to see the universe stretch out before you, this infinite everything. And you could just experience it and be a part of it. And then you know that everything you know and loved is gone. There's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you could ever have done about that. That's just what happens. Time just ends. Things just end sometimes. That's hard. But you just have to accept it. And what makes the Harthians special is, unlike the other folks, they weren't sad and upset at what they see in front of them. They were accepting of it. And the Nomai, they wanted to understand it, but the Harthians don't really care to understand it. They just want to be and experience it, and that's what they do. They see the end of the world, and they see the birth of the next one, and all the stars and all the people and all the things that come after. And that's how the game ends. The credits roll as you see like planets filling with beings and things. So that's
Wow.
the Outer Worlds. It's wild.
What? Wow. Okay. I have questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, please. It's a lot. And I skipped over a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of steps to get there. But yeah, it's a lot.
Why was the Harthians friends at the end of the world, or at the Eye?
Because by observing that place, you changed it to be what you needed in that moment, or what you wanted in that moment.
It was actually them.
Who's to say?
Who's to say? Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. So is the guy that I see on screenshots? He looks like almost like a Big Daddy kind of looking, like
the big mask.
Big mask. Yeah, he's playing like a
Gabbo
or something.
Yeah, that's Gabbo.
Is he someone trapped in a loop?
Yeah, one of the Harthians who's out traveling is trapped in a loop, and I believe it's Gabbo.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a guy on the moon. There's a guy in the storm world who just is hanging out, and there's a guy on like the I can't remember any of the names of the places. The one with the very thin crust, I think, is where Gabbo is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I never, and that's so interesting. I played probably 5 hours of this game. I never ran into anyone.
There's you could switch your signals to find, like, there's an Outer Wilds, and you could find their instruments. So like if you tuned it to you could find, and if you go follow that signal, you'll eventually find them.
Okay. See, that's so interesting. So, wow, this is very. I'm surprised one of the inspirations for this was not Majora's Mask. For someone who loves Zelda,
Sure.
This
Absolutely.
So Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, I don't. That's so hard. Again, I don't know if you blame this or not, Ryan, because this kind of goes into our Claire Obscure conversation.
I said when we were doing the Claire Obscure,
right,
I said there's there's this real weird connection here. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like what do you do? The idea, if I don't think about it hard, if I think about this very loosely, very briefly, the idea of constantly living the same, not even day, it's 22 minutes, right?
22 minutes, yeah.
Reliving the same 22 minutes sounds nice at first, but what all can you do for that 22 minutes that's going to be substantial enough to want to stay? Because you can only do so much in 22 minutes, right? Like, I can go to the store and grab whatever food I want to.
Yeah.
But then by the time I get back and make it, it's going to be the end of the world. So, like, or like having time with like my wife or my dog, that's all well and good, but I also will only ever have that 22 minutes. What can we get done?
Yeah.
Whatever can we do or talk about? Like, we only talk about so much, because then we start and then we're back to square one again.
And only you remember, right? You know. Yeah.
Like, you and I could never even do a Tales episode again.
Absolutely. We can do half a Tales episode.
22 minutes of just be goofing off about ginger ale before the world blows up again, right? Like, it would just be. I almost feel like it sounds like a blessing, but is actually a curse.
Yeah.
Because you're just constantly realizing that you can never have more than what that 22 minutes would allow you to have.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I feel like the acceptance of allowing for those who come after, right?
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
This game is so like it's so interestingly tied to Clair Obscur in a way.
Yeah.
For those who come after, to know that you played a part in letting them live, because someone has to, for that to happen. It makes it like almost like sadly poetic in a way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if I could ever fault someone for wanting to not do that, to just relive those 22 minutes. I don't know if I can actually say they're doing anything. Yeah, like who's to say they're doing something wrong if that is how they want to live? Is that's all they can do? It's not like no one. The main character does not he does not choose, or they do not choose to have the time loop happen to them. It just happens to them.
They just got unlucky, right? They just happened to be in the museum on the day, on the loop that that this was found.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's just it's hard. That's so hard too, because like you're right. How many times has this person relived these days without realizing it? Now they have the knowledge of it.
Yeah, and like what I think is so heartbreaking is, at least for me when I was playing this game, I was like, I'm gonna fix this. I love all these people I've met. These cool characters I've ran into. This world is so cool. I'm gonna spend my 22 minutes. And it must be the game is when you get to the end of this, you fix it. You stop the supernova. That's what you do. That's you save the world. And that realization, you get to the sun station, and like you interact with the thing that says like, hey, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing anyone can do. This is gonna happen. And then you have to like, okay, now what? What? Let me go back. Like, what can I do here? It's just such an interesting, like, again, a trick that the game is pulling you of going into the when you play a video game, you're there to solve problems, right? You're there to overcome the antagonist that's in front of you. And in this game, you can't. It's just not, because sometimes you just can't. There are things that you just can't solve. And then what do you do then? You know what I mean? What do you decide to do then when you can't fix the one thing that you wish you could fix?
Right. It also gives me into this conceptualization of time and just how relevant everything is to us now, but how the expansive time changes everything, right? And how change has to come. And so the thought comes to me a lot in the idea of what, like, this kind of brings me to this idea of like what is the meaning of life?
Yeah.
And how there is no definitive answer, and kind of how if you were in this position, kind of shows you what that would mean to you as a person. Like, what is the meaning of life? Is it reliving life, or living life as much as you can in those 22 minutes constantly, or is allowing life to grow in other ways at the expense of your own?
Absolutely.
And how, like, I think about a lot of times the pursuit of people who, like, say, like celebrities, the pursuit of fame and fortune, and like take like Taylor Swift, right? And I'm not like knocking Taylor Swift or anything like that. Like, she is huge, mega celebrity. She will be for so long. But give it 100 years.
Yeah.
People will know of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But will it be of significance to those people in 100 years' time?
Yeah.
But all the pursuits of of Taylor Swift, or any person in that position, any actor, celebrity, you and I, right?
Yeah.
Well, our pursuits reach anyone in 100 years.
Yeah.
200 years. No one's going to know we ever were there. You know what I mean? And so is the point, and I think it comes down to an individual perspective, is the point to live the life that you want to live fully, or is your point to, is it to enjoy what you have, or is it to try to leave your mark? Because even when you leave your mark, who's to know what that mark even was?
Yeah.
You see it with the Nomai, you see it with the what are the other people's the strangers? I'm saying,
the strangers.
Yeah. You know, like, their pursuits were of these noble things to learn and to grow and to show and to understand, but at the expense of themselves, right? Again, it's not even. I would equate it to the idea of fame for us in this world that we live in now, right? Is the pursuit of something. However, is that pursuit giving you what you want to? Because it seems like it comes at the expense of everything that you had as a person that you enjoyed, and embraced and loved. So it almost makes you, like, put you in this position of like, no, for me, no. I want to just live my life as much as I possibly can, and then accept the idea that there will be things after me, and I don't have to be remembered to have existed and have had significance. Like, that's not what brings my life meaning.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and in this game, like, the person who is most important to the universe that comes after, nobody will ever know who they are or what they did or anything else, right? because
Right.
everything was wiped clean, right? But if they didn't go there and observe that, it wouldn't have happened. Something else would have happened, right? The universe would have ended, and the universe would have ended, and that's, what difference would that have made to, you know what I mean? But by going and observing and seeing the eye and allowing it to do its thing, they brought something next. But no one ever no one will ever know who they were or what they did or what even happened, because by the time they can observe it, billions of years have passed, right? So it's like, one of the tricks of this game is just shows you the scope of time and space in a way that, like, I as a human am really curious and interested in, and I think a lot about it, like, philosophically, but this game, like, makes you think about it, like, these beings that you've spent, and Killer Obscura does, like, the same things, right? Like, this whole world, it doesn't mean, what does it matter? Like, does it matter? Does any of it really matter, right? And that is a question that I love, and I love that this game is forcing that question. And there's a bunch of, like, really wonderful writing in there that I didn't include. Like, there's like some really beautiful conversations with you can have a conversation with each of those, like, musicians, and they, like, talk about what they're excited about, and that but what they talk about, like, what they regret in what they did with their lives and things like that in a really beautiful way. And you find these, like, really beautiful messages between the Nomai who are talking to each other throughout this story, and, like, the tragedy of them, and that, like, they never got to they pursued this thing, but they never got to see it because they rushed, and because it's just, like, really interesting.
I think it just goes, again, I think this kind of further supports the perspective of, I would argue, likely the most important quote of all time. I feel like the more we talk about these narratives of all these games, of all these things, it always comes back to perspective is everything.
Yeah.
It truly is everything, right? How you see the world is how you will either grow from it or it will crush you.
Yeah.
And the autonomy that we have in the perspective that we hold, like, it's not forced upon us. We kind of choose what perspective we want to hold on to, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like what we're seeing. I think there's not to go deep into philosophical pursuit here, or I don't want to step on toes or cross any boundaries here, so just follow me. I'm not going to try to have a stance or anything like this, but I heard recently this kind of philosophical questioning of, like, there is a belief in some subsections of atheism that religion is actually a positive upon the people who believe in it, because without it, some atheists argue that those people would not be able to live in this world because of the distress they might feel in the idea that there's nothing actually after, and that having that belief allows them to have purpose, or feel they have purpose, or feel there's more to what they are doing, whereas other individuals don't have, or have that perspective that it's okay that there is no after. It's okay that there is nothing afterwards, or there is no higher purpose, that their life still has meaning to them. Yeah. And that's what I love, these things that I'm getting into now from the story, is just, like, the perspective you hold. Like, it's these people, the strangers, had based their whole idea of the world and what they are around this signal of the eye, to find that it had no purpose, that led them to this pursuit of a drastic measure of digitizing their own minds.
Yeah, I mean, they saw, like, they could have chosen to end the universe and build the next one, but they didn't want to let go of what they had. They didn't want to let go of what they left. They put so much into this. What do you mean I'm just going to wipe it clean? I worked so hard to get here, right? It's that sunk cost, right? I spent so much time and energy and tied so much to this. I'm not going to wipe everything away to start again, because I wouldn't be there, right?
Which is that idea of, like, to realize this idea of a God is not what it is at all.
Yeah.
And no, I can't not have this belief, like, this is everything to me. Like, this is my whole life basis, right? Which is a dangerous thing that we put ourselves in at times in different ways, to then divert to try to preserve what we have, to have meaning. Well, we got here and we found this thing. Well, now let's digitize our minds. We'll live forever. Let's make this worth it, right?
Yeah.
Which, if they had just not done it at all, they'd stayed on their planet and just embraced what they had, maybe they could have attained more than what they thought they could.
Yeah.
And
or
this game is
lived a happy life, right? Or
Yeah,
just
exactly,
lived
yeah.
a happy life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
But that's like kind of, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I meant to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not like gain anything, but just like live happily
Yeah.
and what could come. And this game is really, this narrative is really sad. Like it's
Yeah.
sad. It's bittersweet.
Yes. There is like, there's no words for me to sell how beautiful the end of this game is when you see what comes after, and like the music is really intense, and like it is really sad, but there is so much hope and beauty in the end of it, knowing that like not just what comes after, everything comes after. Everything comes after this. Like this whole existence in life that I had that was beautiful and wonderful, that still happens, just not to me. It happens for, millions of others, right? And so it is like absolute, when you realize that you can't do anything to save your people, there's this like crushing sadness. And then when you get to the end, there's like, it's still sad, but there's like this beauty in letting go of yourself for everything else. That's so powerful.
I think that's also the biggest difference too, in some perspectives, is if someone doesn't see me do this, then does it hold weight?
Yeah.
The classic example of the person on YouTube who goes up and gives $500 to someone who's struggling, which is all well and good. That's a great thing, but doesn't need to be recorded to be valued as a good thing. Can the person who does it value it enough to know that that was a good choice, and I have the autonomy to give me that good feeling? Because it's not bad to do something good to feel good from it.
Yeah.
I would argue.
Right.
Like we need to feel from the things that we do to want to keep doing those things.
Yeah, I would say like in some ways our brains are probably designed that you feel good when you, because that's how a species stays alive. Right. You help each other and support each other. Yeah.
Right. So kind of go into this position of like, well, if no one knows I'm about to reset the universe and bring life back and allow others to live after me, right? But no one will know that I did it. Does it hold weight? Does it hold? Am I still doing something good just because I'm the only one that knows that, and I'm about to be gone? Like, does it still hold weight? Personally, my perspective, yes, I would say it does, because you as a person hold that value of what you've done.
Yeah.
And I think knowing can be enough.
Yeah.
I don't think the whole world has to know what you do to hold value to what you did. Like, I think you can be valuable because you know what you've done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there's a beauty in that. I feel for people who, here's my biggest takeaway from this story, and for anyone listening, right? Your worth does not come from the value that's gained from others, or your worth is not assessed by the perspectives of others, right? Like your worth is valued from the worth you see in you and what you do. That is your worth.
Yeah.
And that is, I think there's a huge beauty in that. You do not need to rely, because say everyone's gone tomorrow. You wake up and you're the last person in the world, and you only ever get value from what you do, from others' perspectives of you.
Yeah.
What are you going to want to do? Nothing, because you don't feel any value. Whereas you can see the value. It would be really weird to only be the only person in the world. That'd be terrifying. Yeah. But you can still have value to what you do, because you can give yourself that value. You can be enough. Mm-hmm. But I think it's a hard lesson to wrap your head around.
Absolutely.
I think it's very difficult and situational.
Yeah. And
I
cultural,
think,
right?
I think cultural. Yeah. I think it's it's hard. I think I say that, and maybe that's a sign of my privilege of what I've lived and what I've gone through. And I'm sure that I could have had a lot worse and have a whole different perspective. That's valid.
Yeah.
I also feel like how I feel is valid for me. And that, again, that could be enough. Yeah. As long as I keep my mind open. Mm-hmm. And no eyes go off and reach out the universe. Yeah. It's a beautiful game. See, this makes me want to go back and play it now.
It's so beautiful.
I want to see this ending.
It's such a beautiful game. And I think like it is so hard. Like, it's so hard to, in words, represent what like the music in this game. I love that. I am a sucker for sci-fi folk music. Like that is like absolutely in my lane. And the music in this game gets me so hard. Like when I hear like that theme and like a random TikTok, I have to like stop and like process that for a second, because it just brings me back to that space of being in this world. And it's a really beautiful game. And I think if you're at all interested, there's a ton we left out. If you're at all interested, go check it out, because there's a lot of mysteries to find, and some mysteries have value and some mysteries don't. Some are just for you to know more about these people, and some will help you solve, the puzzle if you want to solve the puzzle. Or you can do something really fun. If you want to beat the game really fast, Eric, you just die before you see the statue. The game just ends. The credits roll. Because your mind isn't uploaded. You don't see the statue. Yeah. So
that's so
if you jump, if at the start of the game you just jump off a high place and die, or you don't go see the statue, game ends and credit roll. It's really great.
That's actually very clever. That's so funny. Yeah. That's so smart. Mm-hmm. That's so good. And it makes me sad now that this developer hasn't made more games. I'm hoping that they make another game.
I hope so too. I mean, I think this game is very well received from a lot of folks. I fully to really talk about some dislikes, the fact that in order to experience this story you have to battle with spaceship controls feels some kind of criminal in some ways, right? It stops you from experiencing the world because you have to battle with some pretty I guess maybe somewhat accurate, but not necessarily fun ship controls. Yeah. And if it stops you from experiencing this beautiful story, it feels like a barrier. It does not feel like something that's fun. I will say in the DLC, you don't use your ship at all. You walk around, which is part of what's scary. Because you sometimes have to hide and sometimes things are chasing you and it's terrifying. So if you want to experience that part of the story, that gameplay is very different than the rest of the game. You're not in a ship. You're just walking around. So that's something to check out. But yeah, man, it's a beautiful game. It's a bummer that you have to fight with spaceship controls on a controller or keyboard. Don't really feel good in either place in order to experience it.
I think I mean, not to take away from this game, I think that is the thing that I struggle with a lot.
Absolutely.
Is the ship. I think I found that black hole that you're talking about, and I think I went to the other side, and I was in the middle of space, just and then my ship was just flying away.
Yeah.
I was like, well, okay. Or no. I came out the white hole. That was a weird sentence. And I noticed my ship was so far away.
Yeah,
it was,
back on the planet.
Far away. Yeah, and I was like, well, okay. And then the sun just got blue. Then I was like, okay, well, I'll just chill out here until it's
there over. Is eventually you learn there's a space station right next to that white hole. So if you can find it, you can go and it'll teleport you back to the planet.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, there's a space station that orbits that white hole.
I killed 5 minutes.
Until I just... Yeah, it doesn't make that much difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think this is a very cool game. Do you ever foresee a possibility of an Outer Wilds 2, or will it always just be one and done?
I think if they were to make a second game, they'd have to have an equally interesting story to tell. I wouldn't want a continuation of any of these characters.
No,
I would want it to be something that is on the level of brainy is this one, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word. Philosophical as this one. I want it to be as strong in the message it's trying to communicate and the awe that it's trying to show, because one of the things this game does, and again, I connect with it because I personally really like it, is the vastness of space and of how tiny you feel when you look up at stars. I really enjoy that feeling and that idea of none really matters because we're teeny tiny little things on a teeny tiny little planet and there's a billion other planets. You know what I mean? That's something I think is really beautiful. And this game shows that to you in so many ways that I really enjoy.
That is cool. Are you going to show, now that I'm thinking about it, this is, obviously we're talking about this before you've edited anything. Are you going to show footage of the ending, or do you want to?
I don't know if I am or not. I'll have to think about that because I
support you if you don't want to. I think show it.
I mean, I think it is beautiful to see and experience, but I don't know if it hits as hard if you haven't it's hard to get there. You have to do you have one loop to do this very specific set of things that I was very scared to do. I did 5 test runs before I did it. It wasn't that bad.
If you don't do it, do you die? Fully die?
Yeah, but it just you don't actually.
Oh,
you don't actually.
Messed up.
It'd be really brutal. You don't actually lose, but that is in lore your character is dead, but you just restart back. That's not that big of a deal. But yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I support you either way. I mean, that's a hard choice. I mean, what's nice too, if you're on Spotify, you can press the audio only button on the screen, which
Right,
takes away
and
the
not
visual,
see it.
so,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
So if you want to do a spoil, you can do like a warning ahead of time, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
support it. But, yeah, this is one of again, you never know what a game will bring to the table, like this game. This game is a perfect example of that. Who would have thought we'd get so philosophically deep about what the meaning of life itself is from a game like the Outer Wilds? It's just such a cool experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Ryan, applause to you. Good game.
Thanks.
You
It's a
always
good
bring
game.
the best.
It's a
You
good
always
game.
bring the best.
Thanks.
But it's Soma or Outer Wilds. Always ponder. I'll get off this and just like ponder my life.
Yeah, think about what you would do, right, if you were in this situation, or like, I think there is like actionably something you could take away from, like, if you wanted to like shrink the scale, like the idea of you sacrificing yourself to like perpetuate the universe is like a pretty big idea. But I do think there's something of like, you know, giving up your time to give to somebody else can be as it's just as meaningful, right? I think that's something to